Welcome to Set Sail. Today is May 18th, and we're in day 138 of our reading plan. We're in Psalm 26, 40, 58, 61 and 62, and 64. Today's Psalms are a continuation of David's threatened throne and family drama. 2 days ago in our reading, David was begging God for rescue. He's desperate, and he's running for his life. The David we meet in today's reading is a very different man than what we saw those days. His situation isn't much different, and David actually even mentions several times in Psalm 62 that he is waiting. So what changed? Let's look at Psalm chapter 40, verse 17. David has humbled himself before God and tells God that he is poor and needy. He's not referring here to finances, his political career, or even his emotional state. The word poor here reminds me of the Beatitudes in Matthew 5:3, where Jesus says, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." This poor in spirit is humility. David isn't worried about his earthly throne. His eyes are on God and God's kingdom and God's power. And in Psalm 62:11, he says just that. Power belongs to God. David is humbling himself before God, and he is in right standing before God. Psalm 26 begins and ends with David talking about his integrity. His relationship with God has been restored, and David feels his feet firmly under him. He says in chapter 26:11, "My foot stands on level ground." God has taken him out of that pit and set my feet on a rock, making my steps secure. That is confidence. And what's the rock David's standing on? Listen to Psalm 62, 2, 6, and 7. "He alone is my rock and my salvation, my fortress. I shall not be greatly shaken. He only is my rock and my salvation, my fortress. I shall not be shaken. On God rests my salvation and my glory. My mighty rock, my refuge is God." This is the source of David's confidence. Look back at chapter 40, verse 17 again. What does he say right after, "I am poor and needy"? He says, "But the Lord takes thought for me." Read that again slowly. The Lord takes thought for me. I don't believe this applies only to David. It's personal. It's everything. Let that settle deep in your heart and treasure it. How different would my outlook on life be if I could keep this in the front of my mind every single day? So with his feet and his heart in a steady place, David turns into a cheerleader for justice. Psalm 58 and 64 both focus on God's treatment of the wicked and the evildoers. David talks about breaking the teeth in their mouths and tearing out fangs. All of these attacks that had hold of David's mind and kept him fearful no longer have a hold on him. They've lost their teeth, so to speak. Just yesterday we read about people throwing stones at David and cursing him, and he is still having to undo the divided hearts of his people that had followed Absalom. He still has people judging him and saying hateful things about him, but he's not taking justice for himself. He's trusting God to take the lead, because that God will do it righteously and justly, and David is content to wait on him. And then God gets the glory. In Psalm 64:9, he says, "Then all mankind fears. They tell what God has brought about and ponder what he has done." David found the key to success: a humble heart before God and feet set on the rock that is God and God's truth. I am so thankful for God who doesn't change, who is my rock. Whether my mood is up or down, my situation is good or bad, whether I'm messing up or think I have it all together, his love and care for me is constant. His thoughts are for me. He's steadfast even when I'm not. All he wants is for me to stay close to him. Let's close out today by reading Psalm 40, verses 6, 8, and 16 together. "Burnt offering and sin offering you have not required. I delight to do your will, O my God. Your law is within my heart. But may all who seek you rejoice and be glad in you. May those who love your salvation say continually, 'Great is the Lord.'" Amen.